I don't go on a lot of dates, so I don't want to oversell this.
1, 2, 3, come on!
Hi guys! So today we're gonna talk about the worst date I ever had, and I really hope you guys enjoy it because I didn't. Okay, before we get started, I have to give you guys some background info. So a year before the date happened, me and the guy were like texting and snapping all the time. We met on Tinder, right? So he's a Tinder boy, so obviously what did I expect? But anyways, we were snapping and texting, and then something happened. So I tried out for my local town basketball team, and I played the year before, and then I tried out in grade 11 and I got cut because we had creative differences. I thought I was good enough to play. They didn't think so. It's fine. Some girls I played with on my high school team, they were on that team. And then some girls from my elementary school were also on that team. One day I was on Snapchat and I saw my friend who was on the basketball team had posted a story. And I thought it was gonna be like a classic, somebody gets kicked out of the game for playing too rough or whatever. But it wasn't. It was a promposal because the guy I was talking to had driven to Toronto to propose to a girl on the team who I went to elementary school with while we were talking. So that was fun. And the disrespect was just out there. It was present. It was like in my face. And I texted him and I was just like, oh, like cool story. And he said, we're just friends. And I'm like, why would you want to take a friend to prom and like you're talking to me? So I was confused because I knew the girl he asked. I ended up like talking to her the next time I saw her, and I was like, oh yeah, so he asked you to prom? And she was like, yeah. I don't remember exactly what she said because that was years ago and I don't care now, obviously. But it was just something along the lines of, yeah, it was really random when he asked me. So she said yes because, you know, he did it in a huge public place. But then afterwards she said no and he didn't take her to prom. And I thought, okay, it's my chance, like it's my turn. And no, he asked some other random girl to prom and he took her instead. So yeah, I thought you guys should have that information as a background before we get into the video to see how I stood for this man's disrespect for like 2 years. All right, let's go. Okay, so the guy I'm talking about was not my boyfriend, not even close to my boyfriend. Obviously, if he gained the honor of having worst date ever, in my opinion. He did end up finding someone and he is married now. So he's married now. Good for him. So happy for them. You know what? Let's just hop right into this. So this was my first date. So not just my worst date, but my first date ever. I just remembered that. I spent like all day getting ready, picking my outfit, choosing my hair. And keep in mind, we were just going to our local community college basketball game. And I'm just like, no, it's the thing that's gonna define me. I need to look cute for this boy who's deemed me worthy. That's that. Is it bad? But yeah, kind of a waste of time now that I think about it. So I spent all day getting ready and he shows up a little late. You know, it's my first date. I'm so young. I was like in grade 11, grade 12. I don't know. So he shows up late. Being the shy girl I am around guys, I was just like, oh, like it's whatever. I hardly noticed you were late. So that was fun. So he drives us over to the game, and the whole ride, he's talking about himself. He's talking about how he is going to play basketball in college, and that coach from the other school, they want me to play for them next year. And the coach told me to talk to him after the game, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, he didn't ask one question about me, like not one. Picked me up and immediately began telling me his lifelong story of basketball. And I guess that's why he took me to the basketball game. But I didn't complain because I love basketball. I play basketball. I was super excited. But not one word about me, not one question about me, just all him. Everyone loves that in a date, talking about yourself. Who cares about me and my interests? I don't have any. Let's hear about yours. So we arrive at the college and we're walking in and he continues to talk about his basketball career and how he's had anger issues with basketball. In his last high school game, he wasn't getting enough play time, so he kicked over the whole Gatorade bottle case that everyone keeps their water in, and he stormed out. And I was like, I don't even know how to respond to that. I'm pretty sure I was like, do you think your coach is gonna recognize you for how good a player you are if you kicked over all the water bottles on your last game because you weren't getting enough playing time? Like, you think that screams MVP. I don't know about you, but probably not. And he was like, no, like, it was stupid. Like, I did so much for that team. I didn't get enough playing time in my last game ever. They were playing the freshmen. Let them play. If it's your last game and it probably wasn't leading to OFSA, let them play. What? I guess I'd be mad too if I wasn't getting enough playing time in my last game, but I'm not dramatic. When I'm upset, I just leave the court and cry. So simple. So as the day goes on, the best thing happened. My friend Chanel shows up because she's also on a date, and I'm like, thank God. So I start talking to Chanel and he finds a friend and leaves. And I was like, wow. So now I'm on this date with Chanel and this guy is nowhere to be seen. And she's like, how's it going? I'm like, not great. The only thing he knows about me is my name. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I know that he has anger issues when it comes to playing time. And that's pretty much the highlight of everything that he's told me. Chanel ends up leaving with her boyfriend and he comes back, but the game's ending. Keep in mind, they sell food here. I didn't get one bite. Didn't offer me a drink, nothing. Good thing I ate beforehand, because, you know, who goes on a date expecting to eat? Crazy. The game's ending and our hometown is like heavily beating the school that he's supposed to play for next year. They lost big time. As soon as the game ended, he stood up and wanting to go talk to the coach. He's like, yeah, well, the coach told me to talk to him after the game. And I'm like, oh, they just lost. He's probably not in the best mood. Maybe, like, you know, talk to him another time. If he wants you to play for him next year, I'm pretty sure that won't change if you don't talk to him, but it might change if you do, because it might piss him off. But he was like, no, it's fine. Like, I'll go talk to him. So I sat down and 5 seconds later, he comes back and like, I'll talk to him later because the coach shooed him away. He's not very good at reading social cues. When I'm just like, he thinks I'm having a good time. See this? This is a good time. This is, please let me speak now. So we go and we get in his car to go back home because, you know, I guess the date's over. I kind of feel like I went to watch a ball game with no one. I wish I had gone alone, actually. We're driving home and he puts his hand on my lap and I look down at his hand and I'm just like, is that for me? And he's like, yeah. And I'm in shock. I have given him no indication that I am into this, that I want to hold his hand, that I'm even having fun. He just assumes, you know, it's the end of the night. You know what happens at the end of the night? And I'm like, I do. My only concern is why you think that's happening here. Have a nice night, I'll see you never. So yeah, his hand is awkwardly on my thigh and I take it and we awkwardly hold hands as he continues to talk, not asking me any questions about myself. Cool, yeah. He's like, you have fun? And I'm like, so I'm a very polite person and I'm not abrupt unless I'm with my friends. I need my friends' energy to fuel my abruptness. I will only be abrupt if I've been offended. I was meek and I was young and it was my first date. So I was just like, yeah, I had fun. It was a good time. He pulls up in front of my house and leans over and gives me the wettest. I pulled away, I was like, and he's like, what? I was just like, oh, well, you know, it's only the first date. And he said, yeah. And I was like, you know what? Good night. I got out of his car and I went home and I was mad I wasted a whole outfit. But yeah, that was my worst day. Obviously, it could have been worse, but I mean, no food, self-conceited. I understand that like some people are dating psychopaths who catfish them and cyberstalk them and all that stuff. I just got a weirdo who talked about himself too much and wouldn't offer me anything, like not even a water. And I apparently live in this bubble that makes me think that all my problems are huge. So in case you wanted to hear a girl complain. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little story time about my worst date ever. I have way more interesting stories, so don't let this fool you into thinking, wow, like that's the best she's got. Like that was really her peak. No, that's not my peak. Like that was before I got to university. I go to Queens. I got stories on stories. So this was just a little taster. This was me before I was blonde, so obviously she was boring. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you liked it. Comment what you want to see next and let me know what you thought. I want to post for you guys, so please let me know what you think down below. This is Nikki and I'll see you guys later.